It's a game. He could just take her. Take Irina. Do with her as he pleases. He's not a god, but I do not doubt that his power in this realm is great. So why let her go? It must be the same reason he's letting us go. The people here, as well as those brought in from the outside, they are his playthings. Nothing more than toys to keep him amused. The devil is nothing more than a child. A fact that should be comforting somehow. Yet that possibility scares me even more. Lathander, you're still out there. Please, intervene. For them. For her. For me. This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
You continue to ride into the night, riding through this forest as evening sets in truly. You both are a little concerned about what just occurred. Roman, you feel very certain that your assessment was correct. What other reason would there be to toy with you? If anything, this whole realm seems like a game, doesn't it? A constant torment.
Yes, I can't help but pity those souls who have spent their entire lives here. And as I start to pity them, I realize that there's a very real possibility that I will be one of them. That I am one of them, and that thought scares me. It scares me a lot.
Roshek, you were filled with annoyance at what just happened. Anger. You would have loved nothing more than to have taken this man and put your sword through his face. But after a bit of recollection, your experience kicks in. Something occurs to you. You've seen that before. Grand gesturing. In tribal battle. Was that a show of power? Was that a demonstration that, if they'd wanted to, they could have attacked your caravan and taken Irina right there and then?
And the question is, why didn't they want to? Would that have somehow drained their power, or did they prefer not to challenge us due to our strength? And I think on this for a bit, and then I say, just for a moment there, I think I heard something. It was as if I heard voices. Did you hear that too?
Yes, I did. There's some fairly powerful magic that this man possesses. I think it was wise not to engage further with him. He delivered his message and he's gone now, and we are on our way.
Ismark nods in agreement. You do both remember that strange aura was louder when that figure came closer and disappeared as soon as he moved away.
Yeah, that's right. It seemed to travel with him almost. And then I look thoughtful for a bit. And then I guffaw. Think what he would look like if he had an axe in his head. And I stop laughing, and I spit out a bit of saliva in my laugh, and yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
The road meanders into a valley now, watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside these gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. Ismark slows the carriage, taking in a deep breath. We are here. These are the walls of Valakai. Good, we've made it. We've made it.
I like this. At least the people of this place seem to have some spirit in them.
Ismark frowns a little at this point and looks to you. Do not dismiss the guardsmen of my village so readily. We once had some. They all died. All of them. That damn wizard and his stupid... And he mutters off a little.
I just grunt.
Ismark draws up to the gates of this town. As you come closer, these walls go on for some time. This seems possibly a very large settlement. He starts to draw the carriage up to the gates and pauses. He gets down from the carriage and calls out, Hoi! Hoi, we are travellers. I am Ismark, burgomaster of Barovia. Please, can we come past your gates? You hear the sounds of some people muttering to themselves, and then the gates peek open just a little. A man is there in full armour, carrying a large pike. Who goes there? What do you do?
I'm waiting for Ismark to speak.
Ismark remarks again, repeating what he just said to this man. Burgomaster of Barovia. He looks over you. He looks to you then, Roshik. He points his pike at you. What manner of beast is that?
I close my eyes to focus myself. Of course, I've heard remarks like this 1,000 times before. It's just tiring. So I open my eyes and say, I'm a fighter and a warrior. I'm not from this world. I do not wish to remain here for long, but we've agreed to escort these people on their journey.
Yes, and I'm a Dawnbringer, a priest of Lathander, here to hopefully bring some light into this dreadful, dreary world. We mean no harm. Please, all we seek is shelter. Yes.
I snort there at the first of his sentences, getting used to this priest and his grandiose speech.
A second guard comes out from this gate, dressed in similar attire. He also carries a pike. You are not servants of Strahd? The beast looks like he could be one.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who the devil is. They chat with each other. Roman, roll me an insight check.
And I get 11.
You notice they seem rather morose. Even that chuckle seems forced. Their expressions seem very vacant as well. You recall this. You've seen this before once you've been here, but you can't recall exactly when, but there's something familiar about this behaviour. It definitely seems different from the likes of Ismark and Irina. They both look at you. You want passage into city?
Yes, that is what we seek. Passage into the city and... yes, and a place to rest. Darkness has come and... yes, night is here.
They look at you for a moment, noting your attire. A priest, yes, maybe. They go and start opening the gates. One of them turns to your carriage. There is inn in town. You go there. We will tell Izek. He will come for you. He will question you more. Yes. He will question. He will know. Make no trouble.
No trouble from us, we assure you. Thank you so much.
The man doesn't even acknowledge your thanks. He simply turns to the gate, opening it, already his expression vacant. The gates, though, are open, and Ismark nods to the pair of you and gets the horse up and ready and starts to ride. You notice immediately a difference here. Even in this night, these houses are lit. Many windows, in fact, have lantern light, candlelight at them as you ride through the town. It is big, The buildings old, but not decrepit. You even see people moving around. Not many, it is getting late after all, but a few. You, Roshik, also immediately notice more guards, at least a patrol of 2 passing by you as you ride into town. You think to yourself, interesting. Patrols. This place has patrols. That means something at least.
I look at this civilization, these signs of the world working as it should, and yes, it fills me with hope, if just a little bit. Come, we must make our way to the inn.
Ismark briefly questions someone on the road, mentioning an inn, and he points further up. You ride further into the town, passing by houses, a few shops by the looks of it on the left-hand side, offering different wares. You see somewhere that looks like a large stock house with stables, but it is not an inn, though there is a wagon or 2 parked near it, and also some side streets that seem to go to more cobblers, blacksmiths, that sort of thing. You start to approach a large town square. The shops and homes that enclose this town square are decorated, you now notice, with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of this square, you now notice a row of stocks, in which are locked several men, women and children, wearing crude, plastered donkey heads. In the centre of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain, although at this time of night there's only 1 or 2 peasants about. Standing tall at the centre of this fountain is a grey statue of an impressive man facing west. You notice all around the square are posted proclamations which read, "Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year. The Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron."
The Baron? Who's the Baron? I ask Ismark.
Probably another name for the Burgomaster, I'd imagine.
Well, people seem to be a bit more jolly. Not that I blame people of your town for not being it, of course. I wonder what these ones did. The ones with the donkey heads and the stocks.
Ismark shrugs and starts to move you on. The people in the stocks are hanging there. Obviously, you can't see their expressions. A few children run past you suddenly, through the night, heading somewhere. They are wearing masks as well. White masks with little happy faces painted on them. Very basic, a red smile and some red eyes. They seem, to you, Roman, a little ghastly, really. Morbid, even though they are happy faces. You also, just as you leave the square, see some more guards approaching one of the posters. They are led by a very large man, although currently he has a cloak on, and as you're riding away you can't really see many details of him. But this large man seems to be tearing down that poster you just read and placing up another one. Just before you leave the square, you, Roshik, with your keen sight in the dark, just about make out the new writing. "Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year, the festival of the blazing sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well." And again, the Baron written underneath that.
I make a little noise. Just, Seems like they're trying to keep their mood up. Arranging another festival.
Huh. Another one. Interesting.
I think it said Festival of Light.
Light. Light. This is something that piques my interest. Is there one of these posters close by?
Yes, actually, there's another one right in front of you. They are several, they are everywhere. It seems you saw the last ones being put up, because these all now talk of this festival of the blazing sun.
Blazing sun. Do I recognize the iconography? Do I recognize anything that would perhaps point to this being a religiously colored festival? Perhaps something connected with Lathander or with the Morning Lord?
You see some crudely painted of suns. Nothing particular. You notice one person looking at one of the signs and scoffing to themselves, moving along. A guard looks over in their direction for a moment, and you notice that person very quickly saunter onwards into the dark.
Not gonna get any answers from them, I suppose, I mutter to myself. Come, let us get to the inn.
Yeah, I suppose then our work here will be done for now.
You continue to head to the inn, moving through these houses. You pass by an alleyway on the right, Roshik, which you look down for a moment. You see more of these children wearing those little masks. They've got some sticks. Two of them are poking at something. A dead cat? A dead dog? Two of them poke at it. One of them removes her mask. A little girl. She seems to be wearing a blue ribbon in her hair. She starts to cry a little as the two boys poke at this thing. You assume they're boys anyway. They continue to poke. They do not seem to be affected at all. The carriage moves on. And finally you come to a building. Grey smoke issues from the chimney of this large 2-storey wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hangs above the main entrance of this building, depicting a blue waterfall. The sign reads, "The Blue Water Inn." And there is a raven perched directly on it, looking straight at you, Roshik.
I wave at it. Hello.
The raven flies away, as do several of the other ravens that seem to be perching around this building. You hear the sounds of noise and activity coming from within, and you notice that this place has a large stable attached nearby, with some doors currently open.
I look after the raven as it flies off, and I say, I think I might call it Bertie.
The carriage comes to a stop, and Ismark goes to speak to a small figure standing at the entrance of the stable. He remarks a little and goes, this place could be good. We can discuss further action within, Irina. Yes, good.
I look at the sign again. The Blue Raven, was it?
The Blue Water Inn. It's a very nice blue sign.
Blue Water Inn. And ravens above. Well, it must be a coincidence.
What are you thinking?
I'm tired. I see things that aren't there. Connections where there are none. Come, let us go.
I start unloading my things and getting my horse fed and everything like that.
You notice the talk with the figure near the stable has gone well, although as you come closer you now realise this is actually a young boy. He remarks to you as you come, "Please, come in, travellers. Come into the inn. My father, he will assist you. Yes, we will get your horses inside. Yes, we will." And he laughs a little as another boy, looking quite similar to him, comes and starts to help gather in the wagon and horse into the stables.
Well, I nod at the boy and not feeling completely convinced that my horse is in safe hands, but, well, it's probably what they do, and I start following them into the inn.
Ismark tells Irina to wait inside the wagon for a while. Stay here, he says, while we discuss things. Irina looks a little annoyed at him at this. You do not think I am able to discuss things? And he goes, just trust me. And leaves her there, as he comes in with you into this inn. And you enter the inn, greeted by a sight of a large room with multiple tables. In front of you is a bar with many barrels of what you assume is wine or drink. You look above and see a balcony around the room you're in, which seems to show the second floor of this establishment, where you can see the doors of a few rooms. There are some people at the bar. There is a gentleman on a table by himself who looks half-elven. Yes, Roshik, you recognise those features. An elf, but not quite an elf. He's sitting by himself. At the bar, there are two men dressed in some fine clothes, drinking heavily, talking loudly. You notice on the other end of the bar are some gruff-looking individuals with wolf pelts on their backs, weapons nearby. And you also notice a few other patrons milling around, most of them looking quite vacant. One man sitting at a table drinking, staring at the wall, as if he has no other thoughts on his mind. What do you do?
I go up to the bar and I eye the elf while I order something to drink.
I lean over to Ismark. We were supposed to meet someone here, yes? Izek? Was that the name?
Ismark shrugs. I do not know who this Izek is. I do not see why he is important. Let's get a table and discuss things. He goes over to a table by himself and just waits there for you. Roshik, you notice the half-elf glance in your direction and nod politely. A man then comes to you at the bar with a massive, thick black beard and bushy eyebrows. Ah, greetings, friends, greetings. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn. What can we offer you? One of the boys runs up to him and he nods. Ah, I see your friend wants a wagon for the night. Yes, we can put his wagon up for the night, yes. Do you require rooms, food?
Yes, rooms. We would require food, I think, as well, yeah. For the 4 of us.
Very well, we can give you 2 rooms. That'll be 4 gold for food as well.
So I start sorting out the payment, expecting the Ismark and Roman will, pay back. Yeah. They seem like honourable people.
The man nods and takes your money. Good, good. Sit over there, friends. We will bring food shortly.
I send the half-elf as he looks over and nods. I send him an acknowledging glance, not unfriendly. And then I go over to the table.
The half-elf watches you, curiously for a moment, but seems to be content to leave you to your doings. As you leave the bar, the man remarks, Good, we will bring food to you, friend. Let it not be said that under my roof the Martikovs are not a family who welcomes. Although I'm afraid we can only offer you our most basic wine. We've had shortages lately.
Basic is fine with me. Just wine.
He nods. You go to the table. Ismark looks around. He seems agitated. I've been talking to some of the boy. Yes, he says the Church of St. Andrels is a church of the Lightbringer. Maybe that place can offer some sanctuary. What do you think?
Well, I think this town, to start with, is a lot safer than the other ones. We've got guards and patrols, and this display of the wolves outside indicates that, well, unwelcome things aren't, encroaching too much on this territory.
Yes, I know. See, Idina was wrong. This place is so much more safe. This place will be able to, withstand him better than we could anyway. But I feel the church will be an extra level of security. She must go there. And then I suppose I must return back to Barovia. Mustn't I?
Well, you are the burgomaster after all. You have a responsibility.
He nods, and as the food and drink arrive, he takes a swing of some of the wine. Responsibility indeed. Yes, there's no point us both remaining here. I will return to Barovia with the carriage. Obviously, you will keep your horse. I'll only need one for the return journey. There'll be less of us. And I will try and get ready for when he returns. Hopefully he will be surprised to find her not there. Although, I suppose he must now know she's here.
Are you sure you want to head out on the road alone?
I'd feel more comfortable if you remained here with her. Just in case. What was it he said? Something about a festival.
Yes, the festival of the blazing sun, right?
He said to enjoy it. I didn't like the sound of that. What do you think? You can come back with me if you want, but you'll be separated then. I'll literally be going back to my hometown to try and shore it up for when he returns.
I think this is a good place to be. The church. Yes, perhaps I can find some more answers there. And perhaps this will help us find a way out of here. Yes, friend? Roshik, yes?
Yeah, we'll stay here for now. I don't know. I quite liked it with the Vistani somehow. They were quite very, relaxed. But I have a feeling that I'm supposed to do something. I'm not sure what it is.
There is a plan for all of us. The Morning Lord has a plan for all of us. You will find yours.
You know what? I've heard this being said before by different people. I once traveled with an ogre. He was really big, and when he died, I already told you that. Well, I digress. We ran into some paladins once. Not some paladins, it was 2 of them. Quite fierce they were. Quite fierce warriors. And they too kept talking about purpose and trying to find our way and things like that. And I don't know. This is sort of... For once, I kind of feel that there might just be such a thing. I don't know what it is.
There is, I say with trying to sound as convincing as possible, but I have my doubts about my own path, but I keep those thoughts to myself. Yes, Ismark, we will remain here then, and we will do our best to keep your sister safe. You have our word on that.
And was there something about payment, or was that not you?
Ismark frowns a little and remarks, yes, of course, payment. Payment, yes. It's in the wagon. I will go and fetch it now. Yes, I will go fetch it now. Wait here a moment.
You can eat first, don't worry. It's like you've held up your way of the bargain for now.
I suppose. I just find it hard to believe we actually made it. For some reason I thought the journey would have been far more perilous.
Yes, but he did allow us to reach this place. I don't believe that we would have made it had he actually wanted to stop us.
Do you think he really wanted to let us go just because she was supposed to be moaning her father? Isn't that awfully convenient?
I don't know, but everything that I've heard seems to indicate that this devil that runs these lands, whom this man, this elf, whom he serves, that his power knows very few bounds here, and yes, if we were able to make it all the way here, across those perilous roads, just the 4 of us in a cart, in a carriage, he let us get here. The question is what the next move will be, and whether we will be ready for that or not.
And you think he's playing some sort of game? He must be awfully bored just toying around with people like this.
Yes, well, look at those people marching towards wherever they were marching, right? That too is a form of a game, isn't it?
It's like one of these, what's it called? A dollhouse. That child used to play with, things. And you make, like, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this, I'm going to kill you. And then your father will be angry about this. It's like he's making all these people dance about. It's like, it's a sick, perverse thing.
Yes, that it is. But thinking about it won't really change much. All we can try and do is to make Irina as safe as possible, and hopefully a good night's sleep will help shed some light on what our next action should be, our next action to get out of this place.
Yeah. I agree on this, and I aim to just pass the time now getting paid, getting food, and then get some sleep, I guess.
Ismark nods and starts to eat his food. After a short time, Irina appears in the area. Ismark frowns a little with their remarks. Come join us, sister, come have some food. And she sits and he explains the plan. She nods, doesn't seem to care really. I guess it sounds like a good plan. You think this church will be safe? Very well, I will stay there. I'm not so sure.
Well, it will hopefully be safer than where you were before. And we will stay with you for a bit. Make sure that nothing happens. Make sure that, yes, they don't come for you within these walls.
Within these walls? She looks around, gaze distant again, scratching at her neck, that scarf she always seems to wear, even when indoors. A woman comes over to the table after a moment, collecting your food. Ah, friends, did you enjoy the food? Did you enjoy the wine? I'm sorry it is not our finest wine, but it is still number 3 grape smash. It's a good year. It's a good brand. What do you think?
I taste it.
It tastes very nice. Very pleasant wine. Not perhaps the most expensive you ever tasted, but, they said it was a basic brand. It's good.
I would say this is serviceable, which is quite good, actually.
Ah, thank you, friend. Yes, the Martikovs, our wine is the finest in all the land. Some say, well, probably because it is the only wine in all the land. She laughs, though she looks a bit distracted back at the bar for a moment, and then remarks, unfortunately, we are running very low lately. The last shipment hasn't come in. It's been a few weeks now.
How can grapes even grow in this darkness, I wonder?
Well, she leans in. The Martikovs, we have a secret, but I can't tell you that or I'd have to kill you.
And I toast.
She smiles and is happy. You notice those 2 boys from before running about, and this woman goes back to the bar and chats with a man. They seem to be the owners of this establishment. And you drink and you eat, and that half-elf watches you for a little more, and those drunkards seem to eventually leave. You see a man at a table talking to another, muttering to himself, "Bloody festivals. Pointless. Meaningless. Shh!" The man next to him says, "Do not speak so loudly. If they hear you." At this point, the doors burst open into the tavern, and 4 guards start to come in, looking around. At their head is that large man again, although now, with his hood down, you can see his features clearly. He is tall, muscular, brutish, bold, and at one side he carries an enormous battle axe, scarred and well used. His right arm is a normal arm, but you notice his left arm. There seems to be something underneath the clothing. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it seems like there's some bits sticking out. It looks a bit strange. And you, Roshik, roll me a perception check.
16.
Yes. His left hand, is not normal. The skin looks charred. There looks like some sort of tendrils coming out of it. The fingers are elongated and long. It's a bit strange. As you stare at this man and at that hand, the man stares to you. His eyes are cold, dark. "Where are the travellers?" Everyone in the tavern falls silent.
Getting ready for the festival, I guess, I mumble under my breath.
He stares directly at you and moves over. "No, you are the travellers. A beast man and priest." He then looks towards Ismark, his expression dismissive, and then he looks to Irina. And there's something there for a moment. It's almost like on his expression, his lip moves a little. Roman, roll me insight.
24.
That was a reaction, Roman. Does he know her? Does he recognize her? That was definitely... There's recognition on his features for a moment there. It goes very quickly, but you are very skilled at reading people's faces. And you realise there was definitely something there for a moment. I am Izek Strasny. I am the head of the guard. You will come to meet the Baron now. You two strangers. And you two as well. Yes, all four of you will come now. We do not mean you any harm. We just need to bring you to the Burgomaster immediately.
I smile and I try to keep myself from saying something stupid and just stand up.
Yes, I stand up as well, and I smile, and I say, certainly, we would be happy to meet the Baron. We are guests here, and perhaps we can thank him personally for allowing us within the safety of your walls.
Izek nods, frowning a little. Yes, good. You shall come. He immediately starts to leave, the men following after him. You notice the bar keeper and his wife look a little apprehensive, but everyone seems to lighten up a little as these men leave and start talking again. What do?
I take my shield from the weapon rack as the sword is already on my side, and I follow, and I say to someone that I pass by, sorry, it appears these men need help putting up more festival posters, and I move out.
This Mark hesitates for a moment, but then remarks, I suppose, there's no harm in this. Irina looks a little disturbed. She frowns to herself. She remarks to you, Roman, as she starts to go out. You know, it's strange, priest. I've never been here before. So much of it seems familiar.
Yes. You sure you didn't... Are you sure you don't recognize the man who is leading us now?
That man, no. No, I do not. His countenance is fearsome, isn't it? I do not trust him. No. My gut tells me not to trust this man, but what else can we do? I suppose you must go along with them for now.
Yes, I concur. We will meet the Baron. Perhaps that will shed a light on things.
You leave the tavern for now. Outside, 2 more guards have joined this retinue. You are now surrounded by at least 6 men, all waiting for you. You nod at them, and they start to lead you through the night, surrounding you, this man at the front, leading you slightly higher in the town to a large mansion that awaits you in the night.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Curse of Strahd for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Curse of Strahd was designed by Christopher Perkins and based on the adventure Ravenloft, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman in 1983. Dungeons & Dragons is published by Wizards of the Coast. The music is created by Metatron Omega, Flowers for Body Snatchers, and Word Clock, and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more tasty dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments, and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a huge thank you to our growing base of supporters. You are truly amazing and inspire us so much to keep going with the show. If you haven't yet found us on Patreon, please have a look at the links in the description and see if you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work with the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters have access to extra material such as our bonus Q&A podcast Ask for the Moon, where we discuss all topics and questions our Patreons have for us. You can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.